Welcome back. This is that brown bat here again for another Disney Infinity modding tutorial. And today we are going to mod White Tiger and bring her in order to just eliminate having to use her power-up disc. You know, just like we did with Mace. So I'm going to attempt and do this step by step and get it to work. So, step 1. We need to, because all these things that I've done have already been modded. Okay, so I'm going to take Captain Marvel. So I need to find her in the assets folder. If you don't know where that is, you're going to have to watch the other videos because that's just how it is. We progress. Alright, so she is AVG. Not in the folder though. She is down here. So AVG and then Captain, not America, Captain Marvel. Find her. And it is the MG. That's the one we modified. So we're going to open that. Then we're going to find White Tiger. She's under SPD. That's Spider-Man. SPD. Now again, of course, make sure everything's backed up. So, and not Black Cat, but White Tiger. So W. Okay, so we are going to want the White Tiger MG for right now, and as you can see, I have not decrypted this one, so I'm going to copy that and put that over in my folder that I'm using. Actually, it's on my desktop, so I'm just going to get that. That's where I have my Java on Lua C file, and I'm going to paste it in here. And I'm just going to do this. Now I need that entire name, so I'm just Control A while I'm inside it. F2 opens that up if you didn't know that, to rename, so you don't have to use your mouse, right click, blah blah blah. Control A takes it all. If you're not seeing your extension name, go up on top, View, and File Name Extensions, click that. Okay, so but you need that. Okay, so then you need your command prompt. Okay, and I have all this already here. This is the code. Now I tried posting this in YouTube, and because there is this kind of bracket, YouTube won't let you use that in the comments. But anyway, I've been doing my best to leave links in the descriptions for where you can get these tutorials. Okay, so if I miss one, if you're like, where is the tutorial, that means I forgot to put it up there, and just let me know and I'll put a link in there. So anyway, once you understand all this, I'm going to replace the file name. Boom. And then I need that line of code right there. Oh, before I do that, I need the location of the folder, which if you don't know where that is, if you click up there in the bar, copy that, but you have to type CD in here first, CD space. Then what I just copied, I'm going to hit Control V and then enter. All right, now I need that line of code that I created here. And I'm going to Control V, enter. All right, now it just saved it as 50. Why 50? Just because that was the number that hit when I pushed the keyboard. Okay, and then I need to find the White Tiger, the original one. Where is it? SPD White Tiger, and I need to copy that entire thing again. I'm just going to delete it. I do have that backed up already, by the way. Everything, I have the game files backed up 2 or 3 times. All right, and then I'm just going to rename that. I'm going to cut that and move it into my backed up, I call it original files, even though they're decrypted. they are unaltered. And then I'm going to copy that in there and replace it where I got the original one from. Now I can open that. All right. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the Captain Marvel MG one that we modified before so she can fight, and I'm going to copy that entire thing. All right. And then I'm going to highlight everything, Control A, and then just hit Control V over White Tiger. Okay. Save it. I'm going to close out of the Captain Marvel one. All right. So all intents and purposes, the White Tiger one is going to appear as Captain Marvel when you play in game. We don't want that, of course. All right. So next thing, we want the White Tiger team up disc, and of course that needs to be decrypted. So I'm going to do the same thing. By the way, if you're doing multiple ones, you don't have to enter in the folder again. You just have to enter in the Java code. Okay, now we have our White Tiger team up DNX decrypted, and we just need this for information purposes. So now I'm going to go to the mission giver White Tiger. So if I just make sure you got the right one and you're modding the right one. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is on the mission giver one. Remember, we put Captain Marvel. So what I'm going to do is just search for every instance right now of Captain Marvel. I don't know why it says I can't find it. Did I spell it wrong? Yes, I did. Captain M. All right. Get that out of the way. So actor tag. I need to replace this with the corresponding one from White Tiger. The only thing you want to make sure is the layer names. See where it says L2_1 over at the first part. You want to make sure that that's the same. If it's not, and it should be for these two characters, but there are cases when you might be modding something and it's not. In this instance, you would just override what's in the quotation marks. So I would just do that, to play it safe. All right, then I'm going to search again. All right, behavior map file. Since I know it's the same thing as far as the layer, I'm going, or local. I said layer, it's local. If you look at the top left-hand corner, it says local L01, da 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 da. So I'm just going to copy White Tigers over that. Okay, find Captain Marvel again, and that is the override file for the animation. So what I'm going to do is put the White Tiger one over that. Now we need Dynex piece file. All right, so I'm going to type Dynex piece file. Okay, Dynex, not Dynex. Let's type that again. It's one of them. Let's type in P after it. I. What is it? Dynex P _. There we go. It just happens to be the last one in the succession. All right, so I want the White Tiger info. Should be L4, correct. And that just means when she explodes, and she doesn't explode. The team up characters don't explode, but it's in there. That's what comes out, the head and the arms when they come apart. If I left that the same, guess what? It's not going to make any difference because they just disappear. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I don't care. Okay, so next Captain Marvel entry, that would be model name. Okay, and I want this White Tiger team up model, and you don't want the mission giver model, definitely not, because there are certain actions that are tied to the model. So unless you want your character looking like a Zerg bot running around doing nothing, then I suggest you use the team up version. Okay. Where is it? Team up, I want to Captain Marvel audio. We got to load the audio. We also want to back up here, and it's the dialogue ID. Otherwise, the audio isn't really going to do anything for you. So Captain Marvel's is CMV, White Tiger's is WTG, and I believe they're case sensitive, so make sure capitals are capitals. All right, now everything else is the same. All right, we're just changing the Captain Marvel entries for now. That one's the same as the one before, and now we have, what is this one? This is the eye and skinning data. What is that not in there? Eye. Oh, she doesn't have that line. Wait a minute. Oh, White Tiger does not have that line of code. Probably because she doesn't have eyes. Right? Let's see. Let me find Skin Swapper. Alright, so I'm not even seeing where here it is. I'm trying to find like ones. Alright, shield, Skin Swapper. So special materials, non-existent. So for White Tiger, it might not even make a difference. If it does, we'll just remove the line of code. But for all intents and purposes right now, we're going to leave that there. Find the next Captain Marvel. Alright, looks like we're done. Before we go in to test it out, I just realized that there was a main step that I skipped in this part because I assumed everybody watched the tutorials prior to this, which would be the last one, really. So White Tiger, when I copied all the information over from Captain Marvel, there are certain entries that need to have a boss character's data. So I'm going to show you those. And I'm just going to type in syndrome. Okay. Actor type mask. Okay. Needs to be replaced if you haven't done it already. Since I already did it with Captain Marvel, I'm just using her data as a template. Alright, so it has to be AV Syndrome and 3 boss. Where do I get that information? I get that from the Syndrome boss. Okay, so let me just here. INCSY. And it would be Incredible Syndrome IN3 boss, the DNX file. And I already have it decrypted. And so it would be the same thing. So actor type mask, it would be the same thing as what we did when we overrode Captain Marvel's name with the White Tiger entries. So let's put in actor type mask. Oh, not the tag. Come on. Let me just go to type in mask. There we go. So AV Syndrome N3 boss, you would replace it there. Then you would, the next line would be, no, not that one, would be the hierarchy. I had to replace the hierarchy of like the moveset. So you're replacing the Mission Giver White Tiger's movesets with his. So it says default avatar, AV underscore lightsaber brute class, da 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 da, all that. You'd select it all the way down there and replace everything from here to here. Okay? Next line would be the file name needs to be Syndrome. So you would just override White Tiger's name or information on that next line. All right. Next one would be item, the item set, or the tool set manager. All right, so that's all Syndrome stuff. So the easiest way to do that, first make sure that the locals equal. So L21 equals toolset manager, and same thing for here. So what you do for character modding, you would highlight all the original stuff. I go from toolset manager all the way down to the name. Then I would do the same thing on the one that, for this instance, would be Syndrome, toolset manager all the way to the name. Then I would Control C or right click and copy, and then I would go back here, Control V or right click and paste, and I would override the White Tiger stuff. Okay, and if you watch the last video, you'll know that if a character has a gun, it's going to be attached to their hand. And if it's not a gun wielding character, it's going to look really odd. So then what you would do is you would take the item and just leave the quotation marks. His item isn't being used for Captain Marvel. I don't know why, but that's okay. You know, well, you'll see Maleficent use it when I showcase this in a little bit. That gravitational thing. But Maleficent uses it, but the other ones don't, so I just leave it in there. It doesn't matter. But that's what the item does. And I believe that's it. I'm going to search one more time. I think that was the only one for Syndrome. Yep, that's it. Okay, so all right. We are done with this, and let's test it out. Okay. First thing you need to do in order to get these mods to work is you need a boss fight spawner in there because they're going off of one of the bosses. So that's just how it works. Otherwise, they'll just roam around and follow you and do nothing. So you get that in there. So even if you don't want a boss in your toy box, just put that somewhere underneath everything and don't hook it to anything. You just have to have that in there. And as long as they're connected to one of those bosses, that's good. You don't have to have multiple ones. It all works. So let's try, let's get White Tiger.
Hi there.
All right, so she's going to follow me around. All right. And I'm just going to get rid of these two. Actually, I probably shouldn't have gotten rid of those two, but I'll use them. I will show you why I use those and not these. See this? This is a friend generator. All right. Let's put in White Tiger. Alright, I have it set up. I don't want that. That is something else. That's a bad guy. Alright, so those are good guys. No team selected, nothing. Let me just double check. Make sure no team selected. Team, none. Okay, got it, good. So this is what happens with the modded mission givers. This is gonna spawn them in. That one's gonna shut them off. They are bad. All right, so you don't want to use the mission giver. Or sorry, you don't want to use the friend spawner. So what you would do, those 2 replayers that I deleted, this is what I would do. Of course, you can have the characters roam around in the playset, but in the toy box, but you don't have to do that. And you just need 1, really. What I want to do is I'm going to hook this up. This is hooked up to that. This will spawn Maleficent. Actually, it's Syndrome, but it's Maleficent. New logic connection on. I'm just going to have this play. And then just for our test purposes, so I can shut it off. Clear it. Alright. So before we do any of that, let's hit record. And then bring White Tiger in. And I have Captain Marvel modded. I have Han Solo modded. And I have... Do I have Captain Marvel? Yeah. Who's... Oh, Mace Windu. Now, as long as they don't step on that, don't step on it, because it records your actions. That's why. Don't. All right, clear. Now let's test it out. On. All of them spawn. All of them are doing what they should do. Except pushing that button. Why did you guys push that button? You just spawned out they spawned out the scroll clones. That's what I call them. All right, let's not do that again.